exciting times we have going right now. Everybody's talked about how we want playoff football around here. Here's what we need. We need playoff fans to show up for this game and be as loud as they can be. And, I know it's New Year's Day, so if you have one going on New Year's Eve, keep it going and take it all the way through the game. If not, get plenty of rest to be ready to be loud on Sunday. But I can't wait for it. It's going to be exciting times here for our great fans, all right, and for our guys on defense.
Wink, did you foresee the opportunity for this team to take it deep into the season with obviously a great chance to make the playoffs? When you joined this program, did you foresee that?
I think that it just builds over time. I really do, Kim, because it's one of those things that we followed, Dave's, and we've advanced his plan. And, and I've talked to you already about organizational alignment and all those things that we just took it one day at a time and tried to be consistent, and here we are. And that's the same thing we're doing today, and that's the same thing we'll do tomorrow, and throughout this thing, because we found that that's the best thing for us and the recipe to go with.
Wink, you mentioned the organizational alignment, and you look at your defense and guys who are playing snaps, significant snaps now. We're not with you in July, let alone going all the way back to the spring. What is it about what you guys are teaching, coaching in your system, and maybe the guys you brought in that have allowed them to take on roles late in the year when they really don't have that foundation from the start?
I think that it's a credit to the players, first of all, the ones that we've brought in, but I think it has to do with our system. I talked about having a positionless defense, and it's really easy to teach. And it's flexible enough that, if we're playing somebody and this is what he does best, we can put him in that spot, and I think it's worked really well for us. It's not easy to plan out, but it's a lot easier to execute when you find out who you have up and, and all those things. So, and it's taught everybody in the room to have some resiliency and keep plugging away, because their opportunity's right around the corner, and they're going to play. And they say that that's just not hot air that will blow into them; it's the truth. So I think it's been a combination of a lot of things that make it all work. But the system's flexibility, our coaches are great teachers, and we get people caught up pretty fast.
Wink, what went wrong on that 3rd and 17?
The 3rd and 17, is that the one that put them in the field goal after that?
Yeah.
I don't, they made a great play, first of all, credit to them. And that kid's a heck of a receiver. So I clean that up. It's one of those things that, if you have an NY on your helmet or the throwback Giants on your helmet, we're gonna attack. We're gonna try to win the game. At that time, we were tackling them, keeping them in bounds, keeping the clock running, doing all the things you do. We had the line for the kicker, and obviously he stretched that out a lot further than what he's ever done before. So, like I told the players, we executed the way we need to execute. And I'm still going to get to your question, Pat. But it's like getting a half-court shot hit at the buzzer. You just tip your hat to the kicker, the field goal unit, and to that team. Nothing went wrong except we just didn't get there and make the tackle fast enough. That's basically what it was. And the guy is a phenomenal player. Yeah. So I'd do it all over again, just trying to win the game, because that's who we are. That's just our mentality, and I think the fans of New York appreciate that mentality. Once again, we're going to see it Sunday when they get loud on 3rd down.
Is that the perfect call offensively for what you're trying to do right there?
It worked against us. So we're in a zone defense, so it's they hit a crease, and that's like I said, you just tip the hat, and that's we're going to win a lot more than we're going to lose in those situations. We were trying to win the game. And that's why I made the calls that I made.
Wink, you guys keep shuffling, adding inside linebackers. Jared Davis now, Landon obviously last week added to the active roster. How do you see that position, and specifically how is Jalen Smith playing?
Jalen's playing well. You know, he's the first, second down linebacker for us. You know, he's playing well. You know, today we're going to give him a vet day. You know, I think the wear and tear of the season's catching up with him a little bit. But, you know, we're going to play you see it. You know, we're going to play who we think's best and get him in there and go.
You've worked for decades to become a head coach. I'm just curious, what was your reaction when you see Jeff Saturday get kind of pulled out of the TV studio to get that opportunity this year?
Well, you know, it's like I say, you have to worry about the job that you have, and you know they've done a nice job of building a program there, and you know the owner can do whatever the owner wants to do. So if you sat there and got mad, or you know, you'd be riding that roller coaster of everything else of what happens in this league, and it just, you know, there's nothing that'll surprise you the longer you're in it. So, you know, and Jeff's done a good job, you know, so.
Is it a little disrespectful, though, to guys like yourself and others around the league who have paid their dues?
I don't look at it that way. I just try to be the best at my job that I can be, and if it happens, it happens. Because I think that it changes your personality if you start thinking that way. You know, if, you know, you sound like the little kid, why did he get the new baseball glove and I didn't? You know, so I just look at it as, let's go play some defense and get ready to get in the playoffs.
What do you feel like you can do to get to that opportunity?
I can't answer that question. I just think if, you know, you get the opportunity, it works out, you know, falling back on it, you'll be where you're supposed to be. And I think if you look at it that way, you'll live a lot happier life. And instead of, you know, saying, woe's me, and that's not fair, and he's so lucky, and all the things that you always hear, you know, when you go back to your hometowns and visit. You know, you're so lucky. No, actually, we worked. You know, so that's just the way I look at it.
What do you think of the job Drew Wilkins has done with the outside linebackers here this year? Obviously, you guys go way back. You brought him here for a reason.
Yeah. He's a phenomenal coach. And when I got interviewed here for the defensive coordinator job, and you can ask Dave to confirm this, I said, if it doesn't work out with me, you need to hire this guy. He is a special talent in this league. And I think he's done a great job with that outside backer room. And I think that our personnel's done a great job with the players that are in that room. And I think it's going to do nothing but get better.
Wink, how do you game plan for Nick Foles this week, knowing that other than Monday night, you got to go deep into the archives to really dig up stuff? How do you approach that, present that to your guys?
Well, I think it's just respecting the game and respecting what he's done. They just don't give out Super Bowl MVP trophies. And he has one of those, and he's got a Pro Bowl and things like that. You can tell that he has a live arm, and they're trying to push the ball down the field with him. And you know, so been in it long enough that I've gone against him. You know, when he was at Philly and those other places, and it's going to be a challenge because he's got plenty of weapons to work with. He's got 2 NBA players playing tight end, and he's got a bunch of receivers with huge catch radius. You know, that anything that's close to him they catch. So. It's going to be a great challenge for us.
How much of a difference will it make if you get Adoree back this week? What does he change the defense?
You know that I don't know if he necessarily changes the defense, but you know, just the player himself and the person himself. I'd love it if that happens, but I don't know. You're going to have to talk to Dave about that if we're close on that or not.
Wink, what goes through your mind and your player's mind when you look and see the Colts gave up 7 sacks last week?
What goes through my mind and the player's mind? I can't tell you what's going through the player's mind. So, you know, what's going through my mind is that, you know, at that time, that's the first game he's played in a while. So, you know, it's going to do nothing but get better for him, you know, seeing things and going at a faster pace of it. But, you know, there's definitely blood in the water.